what the Rav said, there's not much more that one can say. But you know, having gone through this experience over the past several years, and particularly this past year, I cannot but re-emphasize that we're, over the course of the year, whomever we ran into, whether it was during Shiva or afterwards or even yesterday at Shul, people come over to you and say, you don't know what your father has done for it depends on the generation, others, to help us out, to help my parents out, and it just went on and on. People that that obviously that we know, but people who had moved in after I had, and Ethel and I had moved away, people whom we had never met. The sentiment was universal, and it's really touching not only to know, to have grown up here, and to know you know what our Father has done, you know, and to live in growing up in this house, but then to hear it back years and years, basically 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, the same thing from 3 or 4 different generations. You know, this really emphasizes the words that the Rav has mentioned, and it will basically it has impressed me, it has impressed our family, and it's something that we will never forget. In addition, you know, the fact that our father is buried in this cemetery particularly is really very, very meaningful. He's surrounded by members of the community going back 4 generations. Our Zedi and Boogie are buried here. My wife Ethel's great-grandparents are buried here. The Rav's parents are buried here. All of the people whose names were prominent as we were growing up are buried here. And as we walk by, you know, we see the matzevas of the, for example, the Krolniks, of the Volgalenters. Across the way, we found the matzeva of Rabbi Grobart. I mean, this is really emblematic of the community in which we grew up and the community in which our father grew up. And it is very, very touching to us. And this is something that just reinforces our commitment, you know, to the family in which we grew up, and to the Torah values in which were imbued into us. So, if you don't have anything to say, I mean, the only other thing I'd like to say is that after this, that we have arranged for a small reception in our mother's building on the 9th floor at 2 Neptune. So if I presume everyone is welcome, and if people need directions, I mean, it's very simple. Go to Crowther Street, turn up. The only thing is that Neptune is one way.
They can park across the street with Cherry Filler.
Yeah. So Neptune is one way. So what you have to do is go in a block earlier and then come around.
A block later.
Either a block later, and then just come around. There's no parking at the building, but there is parking presumably across the street at Sharit's Villa, and I'm assuming that they'll consent to have you park there. I'm also in Taneyapin, slowly making my way through Shisha Sidri Mishnah, and so far I've made a siyum on 4 of the Siddarim today. I've managed to just about finish Seder Kodshim, and so there'll also be a siyum this afternoon in Seder Kodshim. I'm hoping to Taharos between now and hopefully by the end of Yom Tov sometime. And so that will also be hopefully a bracha and for the Aliyah's Neshama of our Father. That's about it. Thank you.
It's Sam Molay.